The Labour Party will always defend the NHS. Yes, it's in my DNA, but it's in the Labour Party's DNA, because we created the NHS, we saved the NHS in 1997, and we will save the NHS again. And today I welcome the opportunity to set out the first steps we will take on that recovery mission. Because make no mistake, and you've heard it from our speakers today, our NHS is on its knees despite the best efforts of our phenomenal NHS staff who continue to go above and beyond. And let's not forget that while the SNP may want to blame everyone else, every single decision on NHS funding, strategy and service delivery in Scotland is made in Holyrood, not Westminster. So let's look at that SNP record. Nearly 1 in 6 Scots, 840,000 of our fellow citizens are sitting on NHS waiting lists, waiting for appointments, waiting for tests, and waiting for treatment. That is a national emergency. A staggering 87,000 have waited over a year. More than 7,000 Scots have waited over 2 years for inpatient treatment. And the 62-day treatment standard for cancer has not been met since 2012. That's 12 years. And more than 24,000 Scots are on a waiting list for specialist mental health support. And more people wait 12 hours in A&E today than waited 4 hours when the SNP first came to power. And that list goes on and on and on. Because the damage inflicted on our NHS by the SNP is an absolute scandal. SNP First Minister after SNP First Minister, SNP Health Secretary after SNP Health Secretary should hang their heads in shame for breaking something so precious to us all. And the impact of failure is that Scotland now has a 2-tier health system. Every single person will know someone who's been forced to scrape together cash to go private. 40% of hip and knee replacements carried out in Scotland are now being paid for privately. And the total number of private hospital admissions in Scotland in 2023 rose to 46,000, a third higher than in 2019. Now, the Nationalist failure to adequately strengthen our workforce and fund vital services over the last 17 years has led to this 2-tier system. So let me make this crystal clear to the SNP. A Labour government in the UK or in Scotland will never, ever privatise the NHS. It's our baby. We created it. We will protect it. So enough of the scaremongering and the lies. Stop insulting the intelligence of people across Scotland, because as has always been the case throughout our history, only Labour will protect our NHS and keep it where it belongs, in public hands.